Welcome back to the Blue Review. Greg Bergen, the big CY over there. The Blue Review is always presented by Los Angeles International Airport, where changes are arriving daily to help reduce traffic, save travelers time, and transform the travel experience. That was a wild game last night, Clint Yates.
So, first of all, hey, happy you. Look at this. You see how much ink is on my scorecard here? Do you see how many runs are on both sides of this?
Look at that.
This was one of the wilder games I've seen in a while for a variety of reasons. We can get to what it means for the Dodgers, but the Cardinals batted around twice in this game. Wilson Contreras hit 2 3-run homers. And on top of that, there were 5 homers hit in an inning. If you were just randomly tuning into a baseball game and you didn't know anything about either of these teams, you'd have been like, that was an extremely exciting ball game. But I do think, and also Mookie Betts came out of this game when it was a blowout, and it ended up seeming like they kind of would have wanted him because they pitched it for him twice in his position as a result with both Trace and Hayward. So there were a lot of different machinations to what happened in this ball game. He really wanted to break it down, but the bottom line was the Dodgers got blown out.
Yep.
Urias looked terrible. It looks like, if you're asking me, either he lost confidence on something or he's got to tell, because to give up back-to-back jacks, again, it's the 4th time this season that has happened, by the way, Greg.
He's been home run happy this season.
Wild. Something is definitively not working correctly with Urias, to the point that you got to find a way to get him in the bullpen sessions and coach him up. This is beyond psychological right now. There's something happening in his mechanics, I think, that's giving him a way to hit.
That wouldn't surprise me at all. I mean, usually what we've seen a lot for Urias is that he has trouble figuring out what his pitches in the first inning. He actually got through the first couple innings in this one and then just fully blew up in the third. So yeah, and then that was the end of it for him. So I mean, it's something is going on with him, and he's not in the same situation that he has been. He'll have a couple outings in a row, and then you're going to get a couple of these home run happy outings that he's been doing. And it's really it's bad timing overall, with now Dustin May out, and now you're possibly Walker Buehler not coming back till September, and he wouldn't even come back into the rotation. Without Dustin May, Urias needs to be almost perfect. This whole pitching staff needs to be almost perfect. And so if he's not going to be that guy, you're right. He's got to get into a bullpen session. They got to find out if he does have some kind of tell.
Good things from yesterday. Freeman hit his 300th career home run. It happened on a grand slam, which was a fantastic moment of the game. Again, there were wild swings in this game. It was 9-2. Next thing you know, it was 9-8. Then it goes blown up again. It was a back and forth affair. I love the way that Freddie hits home runs without being like a big bopper. You know what I'm saying? They come in the course of how he chooses to approach the plate. And in this particular scenario, in what I'll just call a really reasonably clutch spot, he came up huge. Because listen, when you're down a gazillion runs, you think, okay, we're going to need a grand slam to get back in it. Well, they got one, and it was pretty cool because it came from Freddie Freeman after Trace Thompson walked in Mookie's place in order to get on base, in order to continue that run. So that was pretty cool. Other good notes, Andre Jackson was the best player on the Dodgers today, even including Freddie Freeman. He came in, I don't remember the numbers, probably 5 1/3 if I'm thinking of 2/3, if I'm thinking off the top of my head. He looked great, saved this staff before it ended up blowing up for him late and he ended up getting chased. He was a call-up. You don't want to call a guy up just because you have to put him in. You hope to do it because he's good, but Andre looked excellent in a long relief run.
So what's going on with Andres? It was 3 1/3 that he went, and so it did take a little bit longer for him to get out of it. But Andre is that guy. He's your long reliever in these situations. Yeah. So he's going to be going back down to AAA, up and down a bunch, because he is that long reliever, and he needs a couple days in between. If he's going to go 3 innings, he's not gonna be able to pitch for now a few days.
No,
so you're going to see him go back down. But he's a very good pitcher in those situations, and you do trust him.
I trust him a lot, and that's why, excuse me, going up and down. I mean, okay, but if you don't have Urias in good form, and you don't know what's going on with Syndergaard, you don't have May, Walker Buehler still trying to come back. How is he not just on the staff? There's there's an argument for that at this point based on the performance he had last night. Is what I'm getting.
Yeah, no, I absolutely. And I think there is an argument there because they do need somebody that they trust, and they seem to trust Andre Jackson. It does seem like he needs to be stretched out probably. So if they want to do that, they would have to put him down in AAA and let him actually get stretched out to longer innings. Because if he's only going to go 3 innings as a starter, you're really not going to get everything you need.
What I'm saying though is that I don't think those 3 innings are emblematic of the numbers right there. That game was a huge spot. And even if he comes in as a relief guy, if you keep him as the long relief guy, and you maybe spot start him every, I don't know, whatever you got to do until you're figuring it out. I mean, I was stunned at how well that performance went for somebody who had just gotten called up from Oklahoma City and was in a very tough spot. He knocked down a lot of his spots and managed to get to guys well. Hard hit balls late in that game is what got him out of that game. It wasn't like he was giving up boomers. It was just balls that could have gotten to somebody that didn't, ended up giving up a couple runs and they had to yank him. But yeah, suboptimal night in St. Louis.
Hey, those are going to happen sometimes. And actually, by the way, I saw a stat the other day that St. Louis was 6-2 coming into that game after getting swept by the Dodgers. So it was something that where they have started to figure something out. And when you got a team of Paul Goldschmidt and Nolan Arenado on there, you're going to get better. It's going to all kind of work itself out. So I realized that they were going to be, and now you're in St. Louis too. It's going to make a little bit of difference. By the way, real fast, I love that you do the scorecards. That is one of my favorite things. Like I can't get myself to do it. It's a lot of work, but I love the fact that you actually go through and fill a full game. Like, will you ever stop in the middle of it? Will you only do like a couple innings, or is it if you're doing it, you're in?
I don't stop in the middle. It's also, I mean, it's just the easiest way to stay in the game. I mean, if we're being honest, you know what I mean? There was a lot going on last night, Gregory. All right, Lakers, a lot of things. A lot of people are doing a lot of things. You know, if I'm trying to focus on a baseball game, writing down what happens is often just the easiest way to do it. And last night, I'm glad I did it as well because it was such a wild swing. I thought about turning it off, but I didn't. I'm glad I did.
I'm glad you didn't either. All right, that'll do it for the Blue Review. We'll see you next week. CBI, Greg Bergman. Thanks to LAX.